You guys are not supposed to have sex before marriage or the wedding. Is there a specific verse in the Bible that says that?
The marriage part, how the Bible defines it, and how we define it is completely different.
Marriage, when we call marriage in that concept, in that mind, marriage is when two people are having sexual intercourse.
It's called eros. So it's a love where it says it's a sexual attraction, right?
It's still a form of love.
It's a love. It's a form of love. When I say I love you, Joel, does it mean I want to nut on you? No.
Hey,
Yeah, wait. No. But
So what are your thoughts on sex before marriage?
yeah.
For me, sex before marriage makes sense.
Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. So as you guys can see today, I'm joined by these gentlemen over here. So they are not new. These two are not new. Yes, they're not new. You've seen them before, but he's new.
I
So
come back.
for the sake of my new, he comes back. For the sake of my new subbies, please do introduce yourselves. We can start with you.
Okay, Musa or Joel.
Yes, I'll put up his Instagram handle for you guys to follow him as well. And then,
Kevin and Missy.
yes, I'll also put up his Instagram handle as well. And then we have,
Brave man Koza.
yes, I'll also put up his Instagram handle. Please make sure you follow him on Instagram. So guys, oh my god, today, whew, it's gonna be a little bit heated, but I should just say this before we get started with the video. First of all, guys, they are not experts like in today's topic. We're just talking and discussing, you know, and they're gonna share a few things. So don't go out there and say I'm doing this because Kevin once said, or Musa once said, or once said. So let's just understand that. And I'd like to appreciate you guys for joining me today. This is a very, very controversial topic. So yeah, let's get started, guys. You guys sent me some questions, and we're gonna be kind of going through them and discussing and trying to answer them as best as we can. Okay, I'm not going to be answering because we're going to have a females video, so stay tuned for that. So they'll be doing all the answering. I'll just be here to, let them flow. I'll be here to guide.
Gents, they answer.
And oh yes, by the way, we have these two gentlemen here are pastors. So yeah, and soon to be.
On the contrary.
Joel is soon to be the bishop.
So yeah, guys, let's get
It's
started.
recruitment.
Oh my god. Okay, so the first thing we're going to talk about, is it a question or discussion? It says, what is your definition of lust, adultery, all these things, sexual immorality, and soul ties?
So for me, I think this one where it talks about love. There's love and there's lust, right? But there is one important factor, guys. This is me speaking as a guy, right?
Okay.
When as men, like we like to see, and when we see, then we admire, and then we approach, right?
Okay.
So first thing first, because I don't want us to remove the mindset where it's like brave man does not have feelings. There's no blood flows. Blood flows. Amen.
Yeah.
Why am I saying amen?
Amen. He's a pastor. I told you guys the amens will be coming.
So yeah. So when we talk about love, right? There are many ways people define love, right? There's talking from a religious perspective. There's other people that can have their own definitions of this word love, right? But for me, the way I'll define love, it's love. It's what? It's me committing myself to something, right? It's a commitment, right? Okay. So if I say I love you, it means I am ready to commit myself to you, right? Okay. And then when you look at the at last, right? Hey, last is interesting. So
what is lust?
Yeah. So lust is a desire to have something, but maybe I don't want to own it.
Okay.
Right?
Okay.
Like I just like something. Like maybe from a distance I like it.
But you don't want to own it.
But I don't want to.
Is it like sexually related or
just general?
Lust can be anything.
Lust can be anything.
Or anything.
Oh, it's not about.
So it's just a desire to.
It's a
It's
desire.
not about physical. Okay.
It's long for something.
Okay.
So in a sexual way, how would you put it? Like since we're talking about.
Yeah.
Okay, in a sexual way, I'll put in like you see a lady, or what? All you want to desire is just say, "Well, I want a one night stand."
Okay, you want, but you don't want to commit. But you.
Nah, I just want. No.
I You know, that one is very difficult because when you look at it, most men, when they tell a woman that, well, like on first approach, I'm gonna tell a woman that, yo, I like you, I feel so much about you, and then we get to the deed. Then after the deed, I feel something different. It doesn't mean I was lying. I believed it myself.
When you saw it.
Yeah, when I tell you that this is how I feel, I also believe it. I believe that's how I feel. That's how I feel about you. I believe that I want to be with you. And then after I've got rid of whatever my drive was.
Oh,
you understand?
okay.
No, I think
so the drive was to finish the deed.
That's not the drive.
Okay. I guess.
What's the drive?
Okay, the drive is to get the deed, because you see, once you do the deed, a lot of things change. It's called the post-nut clarity.
I'm learning new terms.
It's post-nut clarity. Post-nut clarity.
Okay, I'll write the name here for you guys.
Sometimes it can be we confuse the two to say that, you know what, maybe I like her. You understand? I do like her. And then after you get whatever, after sex, after that, you just realize that, you know what, maybe I don't like it.
But why do we use the word love?
Huh?
As a man, when I go to a lady, I can't suppress how I feel. That's number one, right?
Yes.
When I see a lady, I look at her, man, there are many thoughts that are going to come in my mind, right? We are sexual beings, right? So when I look at her, I'm like, hey, this girl, she's fine girl. You know, there's this. I admire that, right? So, but if my only purpose with this particular girl is for me to just get in bed, post nut after the nutting, and then I was like, you know what, it's over. That is why I said, for me, if we were to define love, it's I want to commit to this thing. But there needs to be desire, because last it's a desire. You desire something, joy.
Even if you were thinking that you want to commit, but post-nut clarity gives you some different results, does it still make it last?
It is lasting.
Wait, because why he's trying to say so that you don't love someone because of the sex that you are having. That the thing. But coming just from saying that I'm attracted, and then I want to have sex, and then from there we decide if it works or not, and then if it doesn't work, no, it doesn't work, and I go. When you say you love someone, you don't love someone based on the thing that you get from the person. You love the person for who the person is.
Okay, I think I get your point. Now, maybe to just kind of understand, or maybe finalize the point, is that you are saying, okay, maybe to merge Joel's point with your point, is that Joel is saying, correct me if I'm wrong, you can believe that you love someone, but after doing the thing, then you feel like, no, she's not the one, right? And you're asking, is that now still last if you had believed it from the beginning? Right?
Yeah.
Is it still lust, or is it love?
It's not love. Let's call it confusion.
Okay, confusion. Now, I don't know, put this question out there. If maybe you are saying that now, I believed it at first, but after doing the nutting, now I feel like she's not the one. Would you still want to pursue and see, like, how can I put it? Would you still want to continue to commit to other things and not just the nutting? Or after the nutting, you feel like it's done?
Because confusion.
What's in it for me?
So, okay, yeah, then I get you.
Yeah, it comes to what's in it for me.
Okay.
If, like, I can see that, you know what, maybe it's worth the try. Maybe it's worth me doing this, or investing my time in. Maybe I can find something more.
Okay.
You understand?
Okay,
Than
okay.
what she has to offer.
Okay, I think I get it now.
Yeah.
I get it now. Okay.
Sorry, I need to say something.
Yeah.
No, feel
Okay,
free, guys. Feel free.
Please, I want to feel free.
Yeah, feel free,
So,
guys.
Flow.
With this one, like, for me, like, also when we study the Bible, right? So I want to share also that aspect of it, right? So we find that we get limited in using the word love.
Okay.
Right? Love. So in English, we only have one word to express this thing, love. If I want to sleep with you, I love you. If you say I love you, but when you go to the Greek language, right, they use different terms for this thing. So that's why we talk about erotic, right? It's called eros. So it's a love where it says it's a sexual attraction, right?
It's still a form of love.
It's a love. It's a form of love.
Wow.
So
I just got school.
yeah. So it's called eros. And then when I say I love you, Joel, does it mean I want to nut on you? No.
Hey,
Yeah, wait.
I hope not.
No. But if you have a friend, right?
Yeah.
When you say I love you, It's still the same way that I use on my girlfriend, on my friend.
There's
But
more than one.
There's
kind of
more.
love.
So
Yeah.
in
Okay.
Greek they'll say that is phileo, which is what friendly love.
Okay.
When your mom says I love you, it's different context, right?
Okay.
So and all those things. So I think it goes like, for me, I think at the beginning, first thing, I believe I cannot say I just love you unconditionally and I'm not attracted to you.
Oh yeah, there has to be the physical
No,
aspect.
that is
okay,
a lie.
okay.
That is a lie.
Okay,
Blood
okay.
must flow.
That is
Okay, I get you.
No. The attraction, the sexual attraction has to be there.
No, but I feel like we need to talk about these things, guys, because we never do.
The eros have to be the erotic. It has to be
It
there.
has to be
It
there,
has to be
right?
present.
Okay. You see now, I think this provides clarity for most people, especially
Yeah,
most
yeah.
women. I really got clarified right now. I didn't understand that.
Makes sense.
Okay. So this whole thing, no, I got it. I
So
hope.
lust can be love. We can call love
In
lust.
English,
Lust is a form of love.
in
yes,
English,
in
yes.
English, because we only have that one way to
Yeah.
express it.
Okay.
So lust is still part of love.
I guess
Joel.
in English we can do it. But I
But
To say that lust is a form of love.
Listen,
it's
listen,
the erotica that you were talking
Listen,
about.
listen.
This one. Yeah.
It's not because it's erotic that you need to consume it in a frame that is not supposed to be consumed in.
we're getting to that part just now. We'll talk about that just now, guys. Today we're getting into your
Right.
questions. So I believe we can agree to what they were saying, right? So the next question is, what are your thoughts on sex before marriage?
Yeah, Joel, this one.
Why me? For me, sex before marriage makes sense.
Okay.
Just try your shoe before you wear it.
It makes sense.
Does it-
It's only fair.
Okay.
It's only fair. And honestly, how do you fight such? Like how do you stop yourself from having sex? Like we live in a world where sex is no longer. It's not just sex. Sex is a sport. You understand?
So hoping for some.
Sex is a sport. That's why you find there are songs and poems
Yeah.
about sex.
Hey,
It's it has become a hobby for
Yes,
some, you're
there are movies. There's come out. There are websites and websites. You understand about this thing, and I feel like it's also a very crucial part in a relationship.
Okay.
You understand? Especially if people want to stay together and build their life together, it's very crucial.
So you think it's cool?
So yes, if your intentions are to be with that particular person
Okay.
at that particular time, I mean, and you're content, you guys have the same goal, and come on.
So you say it's cool, but if you guys are now like in a more serious relationship, or even
Yes.
in the early stages.
No, that's a mutual decision.
Okay.
That the two parties need to take. Understand? We can wait to a certain extent and all of that, but come on, you can't expect me to put a ring on you without me knowing what's running. Yeah, we need to know.
What are your thoughts about
Like
sex
the
before
thing is
marriage?
that the concept of even what we are calling sex before marriage is wrong. Why?
Mm-hmm.
Hear me out. When we call marriage in that concept, in that mind, marriage is when two people are having sexual intercourse. That is marriage. That's what the Bible says, that the two become one.
That's what they taught me in Sunday school.
You see, that is marriage. So when some people say sex before marriage, like, man, when you're having sex with someone, you're already married to that person based on God thing. I mean, you're already married. So imagine if you're having sex with different people, different partners, then you have been
Married to different people.
divorcing and remarrying, divorcing and remarrying.
Polygamy is normal. Look at Solomon. Come on.
No, I think with what Joel was saying, right? With this, I believe like most of the concept, right? Because I think some of these questions they come from believers, you know.
Yeah.
Because sometimes, you know, within the Christian community, if I put it that way, people feel like they're bound. They're being put with a chain, you know. That is why this question comes to say, I have the desire, I want to do it, but where do I stop, you know? And on one end, Joel can say, why not? I want to try the shoe, man, before, and see like, yeah, this shoe is really good. You can go for a very long ride. But when we come to the religious concept of it, right? That's not God's mind on it, right? Like it's not the God's mind on it to say, oh, just engage with this one. Next week we are this one. Next week we are with this one. Like with the concept that Pastor has just mentioned here, like to say they act on its own. It's what we call the marriage part, right? So another one can say, okay, I know me and Joel, we are the one.
Like you guys are going to be lifetime partners.
So let's
soulmates.
you know, let's just go ahead and all do all those things. And I want to bring a scenario, right?
Okay.
How within the church they can be hypocrites on this topic. How so? So Notando gets pregnant. Joel is the boyfriend, right? He was been sleeping for how many guys? They were not sleeping.
Example.
So they've been sleeping for whatever period, right?
Yeah.
And then a fruit comes, and Joel is money. And like, hey, you're what? You're pregnant? Let me go and see your parents. You pay the lobola. There is a wedding, right? Notando, after 5 months, the baby is out.
Okay.
You know, so the church will not condemn Notando within the concept of sex before marriage. This issue will not be addressed in the church. It will like,
wait, sorry, can I ask it? Is it because maybe they didn't see the pregnancy before the wedding?
That's where I'm going.
Okay.
So it's Notando was pregnant, the two of them discovered, right? Okay. That's the hypocrisy way it comes in.
Okay.
You're pregnant, let me go and pay everything, and then we're done.
Everything is covered.
We're done. And then there's another girl falls pregnant. The boyfriend does not have dingy, there's no money
to be able to,
right?
Yeah.
So that one becomes exposed. And like, you see
the fruit.
we see the fruit too, and you are not married. What's the point, right? So the people they feel like they are condemned within the space. So if we were to address this point, sex before marriage, it means we were supposed to apply
to everyone,
to these two couples.
Yeah.
Right. So with me, the concept of sex before marriage, I would say it's a time where this is from the biblical perspective. I want you to understand, right? It's a time where I consecrate myself, we keep the purity, because that's what God desires, right? To a point, because I'm not sure I would like you, and then next year like it's over. I need someone, so I can't be sleeping with everyone until I find the one.
Okay.
I mean, like it's a tricky one. Of course, you gonna sleep with a few people before you get married.
No,
especially in our generation, right? But as you were speaking, the sex before marriage, I just viewed it differently because he just also said, and you also confirmed that the marriage part, how the Bible defines it, and how we define it is completely different. Because we define marriage as a wedding, the ceremony.
Like the ceremony.
You understand? That's not marriage. You understand? Ceremony is a wedding.
That's a wedding.
So, yes, people want to say that you can have sex after only there's a wedding.
The wedding.
You understand? I think that thing, since I 100% believe it's not in the Bible,
there's actually a question about that. Let's answer that question. Is there a specific verse that says that you guys are not supposed to have sex before marriage or the wedding? Is there a specific verse in the Bible that says that?
Even if there is, for me, I think that thing or that phrase was told to younger people, because once you're in our age, like for instance from 16 to 25.
Yeah, fire.
Do you understand?
Everything now.
No, even 25 is even better, because 25 you already have serious life problems. I think like between 16 to maybe 21, where you're still naive. You understand? So at that point, people are very, very horny. For some reason, and your hormones are just kicking like crazy. You understand? So I think it was to sort of control people, to say that this is not allowed. You understand? To help the kids, to say that you know what, you're not ready at this point for you to commit, because at the end, if you allow them to go galavant and do whatever they want, you'll find that at the age of 25 you have 7 kids, different mothers. You understand? Because I can look at myself from the age of 21. This year I'm 26. How many relationships I've been in? You understand? It has decreased compared to when I was 16 until 17. You understand? I was just moving like this. So if you allow people to like, okay, you want to have sex, go
Go
ahead.
ahead. It will be actually.
However, in our generation, it's completely different because there are a lot of ways of preventing. You understand?
Yeah.
There are a lot of ways to try to prevent having kids all over, getting diseases all over. So if you practice safe sex, and yes, do it so that by the time you get to marriage, you exactly know what you're doing. You understand?
Okay.
If you're gonna do it right.
Okay.
Well, this was
Yeah.
a disagree with you. I think this is a conception that I think is wrong in our mind where we say that I'm practicing so that I can be good, so that I can know what I'm doing in marriage. The thing is that you are practicing on different people who have different needs physiologically, who are satisfied physiologically or when it comes to sex differently. One makes you think that the woman you will marry, you will be able to satisfy based on the experience that you have. Because a satisfaction is not based on your previous experience.
Okay.
Remember that's why I even said it's yesterday, right? I said that I even have myself because of the wrong conception that they told me that I had the wrong concept of that. Oh, I'm getting good. That I even make a joke and say that I have a PhD, right? Is that in a sense where they told me that if you want to be good, you're supposed to experience, and it's by experience that you're getting good. But when I start struggling with the thing of stopping and stuff, and when I became when I say that in my process of meeting God, no, I don't want to use the say became Christian because there's so much nonsense and hypocrisy beyond that. Is that when I got on track of me wanting to be serious with God and wanting to follow Him, there are certain things that He started teaching me. Say that you need to forget all the experience because that wife of yours as a way of satisfaction would be different. And then he brought me back to all the experience that I had. Each woman had a different way of being satisfied. That was what was the previous one.
Yeah.
So you see, what we say that we are having experience on actually is wrong because you don't know the person gonna get married to. You don't know what satisfies her. You need to learn what satisfies her actually.
No.
You know, you need to ask. Actually, this is the thing that I disagree with you. That you need to ask her and say, okay, lady, what satisfies you?
How
What
does
if she
she
doesn't know?
Yeah, what if she
Now,
still
that's a
a
good
virgin? What
question.
if she doesn't have
That's a good question. You see, why the thing is that if she doesn't know, that means the two of you will now learn how to satisfy each other.
Okay, that makes sense. 'Cause
You will learn how to satisfy each
John
other.
wants to try this.
No.
because
You know, Kevin. Like I understand you, but that's with the belief that your partner will be a virgin.
No, even if
You understand? With the belief that your partner would also have no experience whatsoever. But if you look at it from this perspective, experience matters. Listen, when I go out there and I do my thing to the lady, you understand? I'm not doing it when I do my thing. I'm like, okay, cool. Let me sharpen my skills. No, it's mainly to please her. You understand?
Okay.
However, I do gain the experience along the way, and trust me, I've been with in a long relationship, close to 5 years. You get me? And I learn new things about her every time. Like there are different ways you see that, okay, this is I never used to do this, and then you try the certain things. But I 100% believe that you can't say your level of understanding when it comes to sexual things is gonna be at my level if you haven't done the things that I've done.
No, so you know, with this sort of time, with these topics, I'll repeat this again, right? There are always two ends.
Yes.
You know, like the two extremes with these topics. One extreme they hold on into this, right? Because that is why if you go to someone, you know, they hold strongly to a certain belief, right? They hold on into that. They will say, no, this is what I want. I don't want to experience outside, but I want to experience when I am in the marriage, and we'll get to learn in the marriage, right? And one extreme will come and say, no. What if we enter there and my expectations are not met, right?
What's the worst that could happen?
I feel like on that is
yeah.
that the thing is we have to also ask ourselves is who create those expectations in us? If it's not Paul, people saying things.
And you can't run away from those.
You can run away from
Nah,
them. You can run away from them.
Kevin, you've known me for so many years.
true.
The explicit things
but-
I've said around you.
Yeah, but that doesn't mean that I took those and then I'm gonna experience them.
Yeah, because how do you get the idea
No,
if you haven't
for me,
even...
really, like, let me say this, guys. I feel like with this particular concept, it comes, I believe, where people that we have been made to have a choice. Number one, right? We have choice, right? So if Joel says me, I want to, test.
Yeah, it's like the thing of...
But I feel like, you see, I hear you, Chief. I hear you, Chief. Here's my biggest argument. When I'm doing this thing, it's not for the purpose of experience.
But you say
It's-
along the way you gain experience.
I gain experience. That's like a byproduct. I'm not having sex because I want to gain experience. I'm having sex because it's delicious. I like
It's like
it.
a bonus.
And it's a satisfaction that I desire and I want to give to my partner as well. You understand? Do I gain experience at the end of the day? Yes. At this present moment, you'll find that I'm thinking that this person that I'm with right now is I'm gonna be with for the rest of my life. If not, the next person is getting the benefit of my experience. The main point of us having sex is not because we want to go out there and get experience and become better. What am I gonna do with that skill? How good? What? Unless I want to be a gigolo or a porn star, yeah, then maybe.
But
maybe.
you see, with
So the
what,
main
you just,
purpose
with
is not-
what you just said, it just also comes out the thing that you say you want to try the shoe to see if the shoe fits.
Before you...
Because
Yes.
yeah, you see, it's connecting because what you are saying that is you gain experience along the way. That also was in the mind and the process of God when He said that okay, these two when they come together, they will gain that experience of enjoyment and everything in the sex as they are growing together into that thing.
But what if it doesn't work out, right? You decide to be with one person, and you are certain that this is gonna work out. This is what you guys both want. Few years down the line, it doesn't work out, and then you move on to the next one. You understand?
Okay.
And then that happens. Guess what? You stay there 5 years, 10 years. It doesn't work out.
Okay.
You're going. How are you different from me?
Okay, let me give. I was reading 1 Corinthians, depending on the version that it's verse 7 today, and then there's a part where Paul says something that is interesting. He said that God gives grace, right, to those who want to stay single. The same God gives grace to those who want to be married. You see, this is the thing that God cannot create marriage and not give you all the necessity and the grace enough for you to sustain and to keep that marriage. We cannot run away.
Because
God is the one who created sex. You didn't create sex.
no,
But
and
you need to
Joel,
understand that we are the only, except I think tigers, but we are the only animals that legit enjoy sex. Other animals mate because they have to.
Yeah.
I don't think God made it glitch. It wasn't a mistake. It was supposed to be delicious.
Exactly.
You understand? It was supposed to be nice. So
Yeah.
I mean, bro, if you wanna get on with it and your intentions are good, then do it. Because like if you're gonna get married to that particular person, and when it comes to the I want to try the shoot before I think that's specifically meaning a wedding. I'm not gonna marry you and say that I want to make you my wife, take my last name without me penetrating your walls. It does not work like that. You understand?
Is the fear maybe because you feel like you might not be satisfied when you are now in the marriage? Like when you are now after the ceremony, is it like the fear around that? Because I just want to understand. Is it...
No, it's not. Before I say that I want to commit to somebody to that extent, I need to understand all aspects.
Okay.
I need to know what I'm putting myself into, because otherwise, I can get arranged marriage. You understand? So I need to know.
I
the
think
person
what
from-
you just said now, like he says, before I commit to something, right? Because no,
To that extent.
yeah, to
Please.
that extent,
Yes.
yes, to that extent,
Yeah.
yeah, in that concept,
Yeah.
right? So I want to build something on there to say, that's what I'm saying. Let's keep in mind two extremes of this thing, right? You have a choice, but now for me, if I say I want to commit to you, like the commitment, like we're saying, is the ceremony and
whole-
everything is what protects us, to enjoy what we are want to do, the sex, you're proud, whatever. Sex is good, man. I believe even in the pastors or whatever,
I think God
they
made
had
it,
sex, they've experienced it. I myself, I know what sex is like. Amen.
Delicious.
Right? It's good pleasure, and we cannot hide like this thing is not there. You know, that is why sometimes we hide. But I feel like the idea of God, let me talk about God strictly. The idea of God in that concept, right, is for two people to experience the pleasure in it and the intimacy, right? And that is why the Bible says, flee away from what? From sexual immorality, right? So what is sexual immorality, right? From there, the word immorality, it talks about what? It talks about selling yourself off. Like giving yourself into something which you are not committed into. So I'm giving myself sexual, but I'm not committed to you. So it can be into that extent to say, but there someone can say, but I'm committed to this person, right? So I'm committed to this person, we sleep, and 5 years down the line, I'm like, man, this thing does not work. And then the next time I go, that is there where the immorality part comes in, because you get to sleep with this one 2 years. The next 5 years you're with this one. The next 3 years with this one, right? So, but when within the marriage context, let's say the ceremony context, right? Within the ceremony context, I am protected to say I'm committed to this one, and with this one, I commit myself to have pleasure with this particular person. You get it? So it's to that extent to say, okay, let's put a container for this thing, and you enjoy eating this thing, and then that is why the same Bible says now. It's possible that I get married and then I'm like, man, I need to find something outside, right? And then the Bible comes and say, it's what? It's adultery. You commit to this one, stay here. Why are you going out there? So it comes back to say there are always two extremes on this concept. And the debate can go on and on. And you know why? It's because these two parties, they hold the same view that what we are saying is both correct.
Yeah.
So the conversation will not end like you just build up on it, but it's what you decide to say. This is what I want to do, right? So if you're a person to say, okay, I want to, maybe commit myself to God and whatsoever and all those things, right? There are certain principles that you need to follow in Him. But at the end of the day, you have a choice. We are saying, I think the whole point, the point that I'm trying to drive, God wants us to be in marriage, and we establish what marriage is, right? So let us this thing be contained, because that container, it's what commits you not to live.
Okay.
So you are you get it.
Okay.
So it's what is you get where we're going. No, that container is what you are contained. You say this one, I will love you for worse or for better or whatever. You are committed to this one. So that
the container is broken. Looking at the divorce rate.
No, the thing is also that.
You see, I told you that one question will bring another question.
So continuity is not working. Let's try another method.
You see, the thing is also like when we involve the parent, it's also about accountability. Because when you are accountable of something, you won't just mess up or leave just any up.
Yeah.
That's why you see the church is involved, the parent is involved.
Even sometimes the pastors. Oh my God.
You need a certain level of accountability. Who are you accountable to for you taking that daughter? Because as you say, you say we want to take someone's daughter and put your name on her. But don't forget that she had a name that you want to remove. You need to be accountable for that name you are removing.
Yeah, we'll discuss that. We'll discuss that, but that's not the marriage. We'll discuss that when we discuss the wedding part.
Yeah.
But the marriage part is between me and her, because even after the wedding, it's me and her.
It needs to be contained.
I think we can agree to disagree on some of these points, right? But I think one thing that I will also take is that God has made sex pleasurable to us as human beings. Of course, it's about the pleasure to some degree, but it's supposed to be enjoyed in a container, like what Pastor Raven said. He's saying that the containers have been broken.
In the container.
So yeah, it's not like it's not wrong to enjoy it, because it was meant to be enjoyed, right?
But in the
container.
Sex is. Listen, I think we all agree, right? We all agree on one thing, to say that sex is bloody amazing. It's good.
It's good.
It should be done right.
Yes,
Yeah.
be done right. I think that's the right
the
way.
point
It
that-
should be done
that-
right.
yeah,
you
I
understand?
think that's why we can all
And
agree on that one.
doing it right doesn't necessarily mean a wedding.
You see, Joel,
Doing it right means be loyal to whoever.
No.
This point will agree to disagree, guys.
this
but
one,
okay, 'cause we
because
need
you
to
see,
move.
it's bringing another point. We'll just be building.
We'll agree to disagree on this point, but we all agree on the same thing. It is meant to be
Do it
enjoyed
right, guys.
and done the right way.
Do it right.
And you know, guys, one of the reasons
Go and see your
why
parent before you do it too. Go.
your parents.
Nah.
So,
Nah,
guys,
that's not my parents. Okay, my parents know I already do.
you
I
really,
have a son.
okay, yeah, the fruits.
I have a proof.
Exactly. So, guys, I think this is why we're bringing up the topics because we need to talk about these things as young people. We don't talk about them, so this is like the space to talk about them. Okay.